Okay, so I had planned to stream a different way, of course, so that I could talk to you more about the Transcendental meditation. I hope that you can hear me. Oh my gosh. Let me double check real quick. That would seriously, that's just typical, you know. It should be able to though. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, that's weird. Sorry about that. Sorry that there's always some kind of something. I get it sounds like it's coming through my freaking computer. You gotta be kidding me. Why, Lord? Why do these things happen? Will this work? Survey says. Hello. There we go. Okay. Fine. Okay. So that's a bummer that it didn't do it the way I wanted to do it because, like I stated, I want to look at some more of the transcendental meditation things going on. So thank you so much to all of you who joined me. I really appreciate it. You are so amazing. Let me see if I can go over here and look at it while I'm talking to you. I guess I can. Okay, cool. That'll do then. But I'm just bummed out. Normally I would even have artwork right here, but since I thought I was doing this a different way, ain't that just like, ain't it just? All right, let me grab a painting real quick for you guys so that this space isn't just there. Oh, I'm like, I have a few right here. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm gonna have to like definitely watch on my phone as well so I can see you guys chatting and stuff. Just say hi. You're amazing. I hope you are having a decent day. I hope life is swell for you right now. There, better, almost. Oh, look at the shine though. Yeah, shimmer and shine. Do let me know. Please hit the like. Let me know how you're doing. I really appreciate it. I wanted to. Let me see. Oh, let me try something real quick. Look at me just trying new things right on the live, like like I should. Just trying new stuff right as we go. Yay! Good morning. You're beautiful. Okay, let me see. There's something right here. Okay, start a poll. Yes, let's do that. Create a poll. Question: Did you hit the like? Question. That option. Ask my community. Cool. I never do the polls, but I'm supposed to. I guess a lot of people do them like all the time, so it must help in some way because I guess it gets interaction and people like it. They think it's fun. So there you go. There's a poll. Hello. I hope you're doing well. I am graceful as ever. Starting off the day like a shaken up can of soda. Can of soda. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna have to watch the chat and such on my phone. I'm sorry for not having better optics and for the camera being a little wonky, but you know what? We're making the best of it, and that's what we do. And we're good at that. What's up, turds, nerds, freaks, and geeks, and all that's in between? It's me, your girl, Daisy Dame. Welcome to, or welcome back to, my channel. I'm genuinely blessed to have you here. I normally would do this, but I had my mouse in my hand. So for those of you who haven't seen it, we did start discussing this whole thing. It's called the Gateway Experience or the Gateway Process. These are declassified documents via the government about astral projection. And I know that some people are not for it, but listen, this is no echo chamber. You are allowed to have a difference of opinion. You are allowed to vocalize that difference of opinion. Just be kind to one another, okay? Because people are people and we're going to people, okay? Essentially, what you've missed, if you did not see the first part, don't worry. I'll catch you up real quick and then we'll get into the next part that I wanted to take a look at. But for those of you who haven't seen it yet, I will link it below after and I'm going to write that down. We love reminders because I would normally write it down on my phone, but the phone is being used so I can see you guys. Link the the D class doc. Okay, I can do that. I can do that for you. Just because, some people, they like researching on their own. They like seeing it firsthand, and that's good. You should look into it if you so choose. All right. This is from the Department of the Army, U.S. Army Operational Group, U.S. Army Intelligence and Security Command. Oh my goodness, Fort George, you made in Maryland. I like Maryland. I really do. It's one of those states that I enjoy saying the name. Some states I don't know, maybe that's a little quirk, but like I just really like certain states based on their name. They could be not the best state, but we don't know. We don't know. Actually, I went through Maryland once or twice. It's not too bad. All right, this is from a commander, okay, from one officer to another about the assessment of the gateway experience in terms of its mechanics and ultimate practicality. So essentially, what this is explaining how this astral projection in some way or form, how it works, how quantum mechanics tie into this entire thing, and how to break it down in a scientific and valid and lucid model so that anyone can understand, right? I find it really curious. I find it really interesting. Like you guys know, I am just one curious cat. So they're talking. This is the first page, and they're saying, "Listen, this is a heavy task. This is a big task, and it's going to take a lot to break it down." Essentially, they go into how this is a form of meditation, a deep meditation where the brain hemispheres actually synchronize. Okay, there's a synchronizing technique between the hemispheres of the brain and how the consciousness functions under the influence of the hemisync. And that's our keyword, hemisync. Okay, so he basically wants to know, how is it that human consciousness transcends achieving this gateway objective, right? How do they do this? And how can they, again, explain this out of body experience without it sounding so taboo or without people just shutting it down based on exactly the title, right? Because a lot of people do. They hear meditation, they hear astral projection, and they think that person is woo woo. They must have just convinced themselves that they're having a vision. When no, really, people are out here having visions, so much so that our government is looking into it. So we should consider that when thinking about these things. And for those of you who meditate, you know that I do daily. It helps me stay sane in the wild world up to date. Because listen, it is a wild world right now. And I don't know how else I would function, genuinely. Okay, so they go on to say there's a renowned physicist who once responded to his son's complaints about the obtuse nature of certain concepts in physics by saying, this is the one, right? This is the one I was talking about. You are not thinking, you are merely being logical. Nah. The physics of altered human consciousness deals with some conceptualizations. Ooh, we love big words. That's the word. Ooh, nailed it. First try, too. Dang, mommy. Okay, so don't be so left brain. That's what they're saying, okay? Mommy AF right now. Okay, so basically, like, use some logic, okay? And right brain intuitive. That's what's needed. So it's the logic of the left side and the creativity of the right that causes a hemisync and creates this. It's so curious because everything ends up like a toroidal field anywhere in physics. Like even with the apple, toroidal field, even with the earth, for some reason, poles, we do not fly over them. There is like a no-go area. Why would that be? It's not because Santa's hiding down there, okay? That's not why, okay? But they have to make up these stories like, listen, it's a magical place. It's a fairy tale land. It just doesn't exist, even though it's on our freaking earth. We should be able to go. Why do we not go? You know? Maybe because it's like a toroidal field. Oh, thank you. Just like our bodies, we put good in and bad goes out, right? That's how we're set up. That's how the apple is set up. That's how the earth is set up. Toroidal fields. That's why keeping a positive, oh man, it is so good for you to keep a positive frequency. Even when times are rough, you have to be able to say, yes, the world is in pain, but that's not particularly my pain. I can sympathize, I can empathize, I can do all these thighs and right. But the truth is, you have to stay on a positive wavelength of your own so that you can keep your own sanity. It's curious. So, here comes another fun word. Paradoxically, having gone through such great lengths to render judgments based on occult or dogmatic frame of reference, I found that it is necessary to return to very briefly this thing, to question, here's the important part, if the impact of the gateway experience would be too much on common belief systems. I did so because although it was essential to that it is necessarily, to have completed the analysis at this point, resulting in conclusions, it would not bring any pain, suffering, so on and so forth. And they're saying, can Western beliefs and society handle it? Can you really understand it? Can you really get down with the, oh man, with the Tao, with the Tao, with the Tao and the Tao, right? Could you? Could you get down? So the whole concept, they're saying they don't want people to think it's the occult. They don't want people to think it's from this dogmatic frame. It's not. Nostradamus told us this. Oh, there goes my nose again. I'm sorry. Every time these darn lights hit me, because it's so dry up here, and then the lights hit me, and it just makes my nose run. Okay, so it says this study is not designed to be the final word, but it's basically a structure to understand why it works. Again, this is actual declassified documents via the government telling us astral projection is real. The gateway process is real. Hemisync of our brain is very real. I find that also interesting. Oh, I love when you guys make the live streams. Thank you so much for being here. It really means a lot. I know that sometimes it's more convenient to stream earlier in the day, but that's not the best for everybody, right? So I really am trying to find a nighttime slot where I can stream, and that way more of our friends can join us. So where we left off in the video that I had made was the introduction. So it goes on to basically say, this is transcendental meditation. And also it has to do with biofeedback. Biofeedback. All this bio stuff lately, right? Curious, very curious. We got the CRISPR, they're just chopping up our DNA. How fun, how fun. All right. So I was curious, and we spoke about it. How would you know, like, if there was a mass hypnosis going on? Folie à deux, right? Would anybody know, and how would you know? But let's go on, because they're saying hypnosis is a starting point to understand what's happening here, okay? It says, according to the theories of Ronald Stone, nice name, Ronald. Ooh, it talk Batove. It talk, I really thought I was going to get it first try. It talk Bentove. The hypnosis is basically a technique which permits the acquisition, direct access to the sensory motor cortex and pleasure centers, the lower part of your brain. Okay, so it says basically it has to do with all of those parts of the brain, and the right side of the human brain follows successful. It's falling into sync with the left. The left brain is self-cognitive. This is why there is awareness during meditation. Is that neat? I find that so neat. So that's why, even though some may perceive us as napping or, what is meditation really? It's it's still you being aware in your mind of what's happening, even aware of the world, aware of what you're doing. It's curious, right? It goes on to state, it fulfills the function of screening incoming stimuli by categorizing it, assessing it, and assigning it meaning prior to allowing passage to the right hemisphere of the brain. The right, which functions as the non critical, holistic, non-verbal, and pattern oriented component. That makes sense. That's why I'm so pattern driven. That's why I'm so good at seeing the patterns. It's because I'm so right sided of the brain. Okay, it appears to accept what the left passes through to it without question. Therefore, consequently, the left hemisphere can be distracted. Ooh, either through boredom, through reduction. This is like external stimuli. So have you ever heard of floating? What is it? I've done this a few times where you go into this tank, and because of all of this um, salt in the water and everything, you just float. You just float. And they turn off all the lights, and you feel like you're literally floating in space. It is such a curious thing. Um, so it's just the what is it called? I wish I could think of exactly what it's called. I'll think of it. So it basically, yeah, just cuts off all stimuli to sensory and motor, right? And that's what this is saying. It's saying the same thing. It has to do with your brain just basically, I don't want to say it's like an airplane mode because it's not. It's still doing a lot of work right here. There's a lot of work happening. So it goes on to say, similarly, the person is experiencing the general feeling of happiness and well being. That's true. And that's why it's located in your pleasure centers of the brain, which we are talking about is the bottom right there. And also the right hemisphere there. Oh, that's why you get the euphoria feeling. So when you're in the float tanks and you've floated a few times, you can have visuals. You can see things. And it's curious because the very last time I floated, I think I finally felt the experience that everybody speaks about. I floated about 3 or 4 times, and it takes a minute because your body's getting used to it. It's something new. There's no external stimuli. Everything is just darkness, right? And they even warn you. They're like, listen, some people, it might be too much for them because your brain will play tricks on you as you're in this environment. It is so curious. Um, So it goes on to say that it is significant because this is how the gateway process begins. This is how we understand the starting point of said thing. Oh my gosh, it is literally right on the tip of my tongue. And I keep thinking of the word containment tank. Uh, okay, so this one, I can't wait till you guys, I should, can I link this while I'm like, let me try that. So that you guys can even follow along if you want to. You don't have to. But then, like again, like I said, you can do your own research. It's so much fun. Oh, I can. Cool. Okay. So right now I'm on page. We're about to look at the brains. Woo! What page am I on? 4 still? Yeah, we're on 4 still. Confinement tank. Sensory. That's it. Sensory deprivation tank. Woo! I was gonna be struggling until I got that out. Oh my gosh, you guys. Sensory deprivation tanks. Okay, so I've done that a few times. It is really interesting. It really does feel like you're just floating off in space. It has so many good things for you. It's like the salt caves. It's like you were on the beach for like a week, and you can go for like 30 minutes to an hour. Hi guys, thanks so much for all of you dropping in. Please hit that like. It is free. Finny was here with us, but he bailed out because he was like, "Girls talk about meditation. When it's meditation time, what is she doing?" Like he's so upset right now because Finley loves meditation time. He'll have his catnip, his his snacky, and then he's like, all right, girl, let's go meditate. And I'm like, okay, Finn, stop yelling at me. All right, we're on page 5. Woo, we made it to page 5. Yeah. By the way, you look great today. Thank you so much for joining me. So it has a lot to do with the sensory parts of your brain. It's so interesting. I love that. We're going to learn about some more big words in a second. So for those of you who can't see or don't follow along, what we're looking at right now is 3 pictures of the brain. And, the king. One moment. Hold on 1 second. Jules, hold on. Hold on, buddy. Can you give me 1 second, buddy? Okay, so the king is on break, and you guys know that he is my world, and he's chilling, and he will always come first. And this Letitia stock case, it's got me really messed up. You know, it really does. I just love him so much, and I just can't fathom some of these wicked parents out here. Ah, you guys, absolutely, you should check your area for deprivation tanks. Yeah, deprivation tanks, and it's called Float, FLOAT, and there's also Ascend Spa. So the one I went to, there's a couple different ones, but this one was like you go into a room, and there's like a room where you can undress, and then there's a shower, and then from the shower you walk into the tank, and it's insane because it feels like jello, like the water feels like jello, and your body does just float right on top. And there's not supposed to be music, but you know your girl is bringing meditation music in. Yeah, so the king's on break and he really wants to go to the playground right now. And he's like, hey, playground, this is your to-do list today. This is what he told me. Playground, playground, playground. I was like, okay, when I'm done. Of course, but when I'm done. All right, so let's take a look at these 3 brains real quick. Floating is good for you. It has a lot of mental health. Um, Really good for you. Really good for you. It's very detoxing for your body. Ah, love it. Love that. Love that for us. For real. With all the stuff in the air and our food, we just can't get a break. We really can't. It's like impossible. It's be funny. I honestly, I would live in one too if I could, because it's amazing. Like when you leave, you feel like a new person. And though it's rare that I leave anywhere feeling any type of change, right? Like it's rare that we go anywhere and you leave there feeling better than you got there, right? Unless maybe you haven't, I don't know, gotten your nails done in a while and you leave there and you're like, I'm a whole new woman. Who knows? And for the men, hey, listen, some men, they get their nails fixed up. Who knows? I'm not here to judge what your interest is. I'm just kidding. Okay, so basically, it just goes on to explain, listen, it's all about your brain. It's all about that pleasure area of your brain. It's all about the motor and sensory cortex and the third and lateral ventricles. Gosh, diddly darn it. I wish my sister was here because she's a nurse and she knows all about the brain and the body, and for her to be here, let's pick her brain. Like she would do it. You guys are all gonna just be like, Daisy, we're in love with your sister. Please let her have your channel. That's what will happen. It's my whole life. Like seriously, all throughout high school, people were like, do you know how beautiful your sister is? Oh my gosh, your brothers are so beautiful. I'm like, yeah, they're gorgeous. You're right. Gorgeous. Love them. Awesome. Because I'm the baby, and that's just how it is for the baby. Okay, let's go on a little bit more, and then I'll let you guys go because I never want to keep you for too long. I want to get you about your day. Normally, I'm like I said, a cappuccino, double frappy, shot of espresso in the morning. So it's probably better for me to stream later, anyhow. So that way I'm not like, hi guys, good morning, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, God dang, Daisy, you're crazy. All right, let's go on. As a result, Ben Tove, and that was that guy, remember? It says it will stimulate and eventually polarize the cortex of the brain. So basically, what you're doing, and oh, y'all, clip it. Do you guys remember Esther Hicks? Remember that? They spoke about how there's a toroidal field and how it's with everything, just like I was just saying. And so they're saying it's the same with our brain. It's syncing up. Oh my goodness. And do you know that the earth has a heartbeat, right? The Schumann resonance, right? Isn't that so curious? I'm like, I wanna, I wanna, I want that to be my frequency. I want to be the frequency of the heartbeat of the earth. Like, I love that. Okay. I wonder if that's part of it. Like, is that part of it? Have you heard of ley lines? That's interesting too. Maybe that's what we gotta do. We have to meditate transcendentally on some ley lines at the same frequency as the Schumann resonance. That kind of sounds like it would work though. Why does that sound like it would work? You know that people who are in the know, they be doing this. They're doing it. They know the secrets. That's why I'm surprised they're not already like, listen, Scientology was right, y'all were wrong. They always, like on South Park, joke that the Mormons were right, I think it was. That's funny. All right. So, biomedical model that described in the book. So, there's books about it. The Kundalini, oh, good Lord, psychosis or transcendence. Hey, that's weird. Wait a minute. 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 Remember that movie Transcendence that I always bring up? It's curious because it's like, why do we need the internet and Wi-Fi, or like, why do we need Neuralink to do this transcendence when we can do it naturally? Like, it's a God-given gift. Okay? He's The whole idea is to look within, not selfishly, but like inwardly to God to find answers, right? I don't know. That just sounds right to me. You let me know what you think in the comments below. And please hit the like. It's free. So basically, it's all about getting this sync. Like, this is the whole first part. We're on page 6 now of the entire thing. It's just saying it needs to be synced up. And he's going on to say, he's explaining how this is a self stimulation of the pleasure cortex. So ASMR, I guess that's yeah. And they also say that there's others who can fall into this much quicker. So people who are like accustomed to doing sweat lodges, accustomed to meditation, and all of these types of practices, that will make it easier for you to do this. Also, if you have a sensitive nervous system, that's facts. If you have a really sensitive nervous system, you might want to try this. Okay, for real. Even if it's a little bit scary to you, you've got to just look at it like a dream. You got to accept it, give in, let go. It's like a trust fall. You just got to trust. You just got to trust. And there's so many times where I've broken myself out of meditation because I felt like right when I was right at that point where I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to astral project. And then it's like, boop, something happens to wake me up from it. Or my leg twitches. Or something happens. It's just curious. And I feel like there's a way that if they know all this, right? They know all this. There's got to be a way for them to, what's the right word? I keep thinking thwart like people's efforts to do this, right? There's got to be, they have to find, like they probably know a way to block people from doing this. Yeah, yeah. That's curious. All right, so we're at number 4, biofeedback, the third consciousness altering method, which will be briefly described as biofeedback. Biofeedback is somewhat unique that it actually employs self-cognitive powers of the left brain to gain access to the right brain It's kind of like sneaking through the back door, like, hey, yo, I know we're not supposed to hang out like this, but let us join together for just a moment while we can. And the right side of the brain is like, yeah, okay, you can be sneaky, but listen, this isn't going to happen for long. Because for whatever reason, some people can only hold it at longest for like 15 minutes. It says, what? So people are like, same thing. They're knocking themselves out of it. It's like they get in there to meditate and then they stop themselves. It's so curious. What do you guys think about that? Again, it all goes by doing this bypassing. So again, shortcuts in our brain, right? So it's our brain taking shortcuts. That's sick. And we know that this can happen. We know that others know that there's shortcuts to our brains and they use that. They use that for promotion, to sell us things. Oh my goodness. That's wild. So basically, your brain is like self monitoring, and the right brain is like, okay, fine, you can party. Like the left brain is like, can I party for just a bit? And the right brain is like, sure, just for a bit. And then so your brain is like accepting it, allowing this to happen. That is so curious. And it keeps going back to the pleasure centers of the brain. And it says that beginners can achieve and have these experiences, but those who are deep into meditation and have techniques, they will progress in this method and it will enhance things with visualizations. There it is. There it is. And that's why when you float and there is no stimuli, it is a deprivation tank. It is depriving you of all that is except for nothingness. So your brain, no matter what, after a minute is going to go, I can't handle this nothingness. My world is not made of nothingness, right? So your brain is going to kind of display. That's so curious. I find it really curious, first of all, that some people cannot see pictures in their brains, but they can meditate and see colors or like visions, full on movie reels. And then there's others who can see pictures but cannot meditate and cannot do this, right? People are strange. We are strange. We're very strange. So it says, get get down with meditation. It says, get funky with that meditation. Get real comfortable with meditation so that your brain can quickly go into these relaxed states. And this causes singularity. Boom, transcendence. Boom, singularity. Why do we need Elon Musk for that? Why? All right, we're on page 7. I am going to get headed out here in a minute. We're going to leave it at Gateway and Hemisync because that's what we're learning. For those who are just joining us, thank you so, so much. I really do appreciate it. I'm sorry that the stream ended up this way and that you got stuck with this space instead of the information. But I did link it in the chat. I am learning ways to stream with others, and I'm so excited about that. Listen, I taught myself these stinking Streamlabs, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. You heard me say it. How exciting, right? Like, I'm so excited just to hang out with others, have other channels here, just chilling with us. That makes me also happy. And I really want to, I'm terrible at keeping things a secret. Seriously, I suck. I really want to interview some really cool people, okay? I know some really cool people, and I want to have them on my channel. So if you haven't already, please hit the like. I will find a way into the algorithm. The algorithm is not going to get away from me. No, I'm coming for you. You can't stop me. You can't stop this channel. No, you cannot stop this family, these followers, these amazing people who show up, right? They show up for this channel, YouTube, okay? So just so you know, we ain't going nowhere. Okay, I know some people has gone somewhere recently, but that ain't me. That ain't me, huh? I'm gonna be here as long as I can be. And I really do so appreciate you guys. You guys are so amazing. You make every day just that little bit better, It's just awesome. And I know that not all of you are into this. I know that not all of you even care about meditation. but you're here and you're hanging out, and it's so sweet. It's so sweet. I just so appreciate it. It really does mean a lot. And you guys know that whether there's 2 people, whether there's 1,000 people, we're gonna put on a freaking show. Okay? We're gonna put on a show. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna apparently sync our brains and stimulate our cortexes. Very curious. See, this is how we cure our sick, sad world. This is how we make things that little bit better, by making ourselves that little bit better, because that helps in the end, right? So, with that said, take care of yourselves and your loved ones. I so, so appreciate you. I really do. I'm going to show you a piece of artwork that the king did real quick. Oh, where's the yippee? Oh, I got it. I'm going to show you this real quick. How amazing, right? Like, slay. I just love it, and I wanted to show it off because you guys see my art all the time. But my little Van Gogh. That's sick. See, I'm learning. I'm learning. I found a salt cave. They have these lights. They're machines that you literally crawl inside, and yeah, you can meditate. I'm like, whoa, I want to do that. I want to do that. See, like I have that face mask and I can meditate with that, but it's like I want a full body, like, yeah, it's like a tanning bed, but positive rays that help you and frequencies and such. So, okay, let's get you about your day. Stay awake, stay awake, stay well. Thank you again, seriously, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, members. Thank you, Frank, and everybody else, and all the other channels who are literally, you're just going an extra mile. Like you handed me the baton and you put me on your shoulders and you just ran. And thank you. Like, I'm not getting emotional because I'm an alpha. Oh, stop making me emotional. I'm not a beta. Okay, that's a joke. I'm gonna leave now. Love you guys. Oh, I won the stream. Yeah. Bye, guys. Don't be a beta.